In the grim darkness of the far future, there are no heroes, only legends. Yet among those legends, one name burns brighter than all others: the Salamanders, the sons of fire, protectors of mankind, and keepers of humanity's final light. They are not the largest of the Space Marine legions. They are not the most ruthless, nor the most technologically advanced. But in the endless night of the 41st millennium, they remain the most human. This is their story, forged in flame, tempered in war, and written in the blood of those they vowed to protect. Long before the Imperium spanned the stars, before the Great Crusade united mankind under a single banner, the Emperor created 20 Primarchs, gene-forged sons destined to lead his armies. But treachery in the warp scattered them across the galaxy. One of these infants fell upon the volcanic death world of Nocturne, a place of fire and ash, where molten rivers carved the land and monstrous beasts roamed freely. There, the child was found by the simple people of a mining settlement. They named him Vulkan. Unlike his brothers, Vulkan grew not in a palace or under the guidance of scholars. He grew among ordinary men and women, learning their struggles, sharing their hardships. He fought the beasts that plagued them, forged weapons with his own hands, and became their protector long before he knew his destiny. When the Emperor finally arrived, it was not with conquest, but with respect. Vulkan, already a king in all but name, bent the knee, not out of fear but faith. And thus, the 18 Legion, his sons, became known as the Salamanders. Under Vulkan's command, the Salamanders joined the Great Crusade, a vast campaign to reunite the scattered worlds of humanity. But where other legions brought terror, the Salamanders brought hope. They did not merely conquer worlds, they rebuilt them. They did not just burn the enemies of mankind. They stood beside the weak, defended the helpless, and restored civilization where chaos reigned. The Salamanders' war doctrine reflected their Primarch's philosophy: endurance, self-reliance, and humanity above all. They were slower to mobilize, fewer in number, but where they struck, they left behind not just victory, but peace. Vulkan himself was the embodiment of this ideal. A warrior smith, philosopher, and statesman, he forged not only weapons but alliances. And his sons followed his example. They saw themselves not as conquerors, but as guardians. But even the brightest flame casts a shadow. When Horus Lupercal, the War Master and most beloved son of the Emperor, turned traitor, the galaxy was consumed by civil war. Brother fought brother, and the ideals of the Great Crusade burned away in a storm of betrayal. The Salamanders were among the first loyalists to answer the call. At the Dropsite massacre on Istvan V, Vulkan and his sons stood shoulder to shoulder with the Raven Guard and the Iron Hands, only to be betrayed and slaughtered by the traitor legions. It was a massacre beyond imagining. Tens of thousands of Salamanders were killed. Vulkan himself was captured and tortured by his brother Conrad Kurz, the Night Haunter. Yet, as a perpetual, Vulkan could not die. Again and again he was broken, and again he rose. In that suffering, the Salamander's true nature was revealed. Not anger, not vengeance, but unbreakable will. Even shattered and scattered, they fought on, saving civilians, defending worlds, and refusing to abandon the ideals they were born to uphold. After the heresy ended and the Emperor was entombed upon the Golden Throne, the Salamanders were a shadow of their former strength. Barely a few hundred warriors remained, but they did not despair. Instead, they rebuilt, slowly, patiently, as they always had. They restructured into a chapter under Robert Guilliman's Codex Astartes, yet retained their unique traditions. The Promethean cult, their spiritual doctrine, emphasized self-sacrifice, honor, and the sacred duty of protecting humanity. Every Salamander was expected to master the forge as well as the blade, to be both warrior and builder. Their bond with the people they defended remained unbroken. On every world they saved, they stayed to rebuild. On every battlefield, they placed civilians above their own survival. And though this compassion often cost them dearly, it also made them beloved, the most trusted of all space marines in the eyes of ordinary humans. In the 41st millennium, the galaxy is darker than ever. Chaos spreads like a plague. Xenos empires rise and fall, The Imperium itself teeters on the brink of collapse. Yet, through it all, the Salamanders still endure. Their numbers are never great, their fleets never vast. But wherever humanity cries out for salvation, a green armored warrior will answer. They fight in the name of the Emperor, but also in the name of the people he swore to protect. Legends tell of Vulkan's return, that one day, the Forgefather will rise again, carrying the 9 sacred artifacts that prove his worth. And when that day comes, the Sons of Fire will march beside him once more, their flame burning brighter than ever before. For they are more than space marines. They are guardians. They are hope. They are the Salamanders, the eternal fire in humanity's darkest night.